Jeffrey thinks journaling is gay. He doesn't understand why men would want to write about their feelings in a diary. But Jeffrey overthinks all the time. It's a shame. Jeffrey would benefit from it most. Adonis. Adonis understands the power of his thoughts. He takes specific time out of his day for introspectiveness. And because of that, he has a feeling of clear-headedness as he goes about his hobbies. That's what I like to see. Let's begin with gratitude journaling. The science of gratitude journaling is very promising. It literally makes you happier. What an awesome benefit to have. So here is how to do gratitude journaling. You'll get your notepad. It is better to do it on paper than on PC. If you must do it on PC, fine. Try to just write it on paper because it takes longer, because you actually have to hold the pen like a dumbass because you haven't held a pen for 3 years. It takes longer, and so you spend a longer time in the feeling of gratitude. You simply write today's date and you just write a couple of things. I'm grateful for tonight with Eve. Cute. I'm grateful for the McDonald's. I'm grateful for the call I had with the client yesterday. I'm grateful for this YouTuber. I'm grateful for this pen. I'm grateful for this water bottle. I'm grateful for my mother. Seems simple and it seems almost silly. It should take you just a couple of minutes. You write a couple of things that you're grateful for. The most asked question about this is, can I write the exact same things every day? And to that I always just say, come on bro, it takes a couple of seconds either way. Why are you just repeat? We're not writing lines for punishment in school or anything. It's a few minutes to just sit around and say, what am I grateful for? I find that everyone has got lots of things to be grateful for, but some people have a certain level of stubbornness where they just don't want to actively do this behavior, and so they just want to make it as easy as possible. They want to write the exact same thing down every day. You can write the same things, you can write about the same person, but the benefit of this isn't exactly the writing. It's just the minutes that you kept yourself in a state of gratitude and you were thinking about things that you're thankful for. The best tip I can give you is to keep your gratitude journal right next to your bed with the pen just ready. The moment your eyes open, you reach for the pen and start writing. The moment. And you're going to write some silly things. Your eyes are barely going to be open, so you're literally going to write, I'm grateful for sleep. I'm grateful for water. I'm grateful for this pillow. But that is so beneficial, because after a few days of doing this, your mind will start to associate waking up with gratitude journaling. You will wake up in a state of gratitude. It's a very nice feeling. Why should you even do gratitude journaling? You become grateful for random things that you've never even thought about, and you start to pay attention to the smaller things. You become grateful for the leaf that you saw on the floor and it had a little crunch when you stepped on it. You become grateful for your water bottle, and then you become so much more thankful for it. My mother got me this water bottle. Perhaps it was one of the first times in my life where I was grateful for something like this. How many times in your life have you truly said that? How many times in your life have you truly went up to your family and said, I'm grateful for you? Benefits of gratitude journaling are immense, and eventually you will begin to feel grateful for the bad things that happen to you. Very big growth comes from that. When you start to write, I'm grateful for abuse. I'm grateful for that traumatic experience. I'm grateful for the mental illness that I've experienced. Eventually you will write that stuff. Eventually you will feel grateful for your insecurities. It will truly change your life. And now, how do you do deep journaling? This is something I recommend a lot on my channel. Deep journaling is very effective for anxiety and introspectiveness if you want to find yourself. So how do I do it? I'm going to walk you through my setup and you can just take what would be applicable to your life. Half of the battle is the setup. Deep journaling is somewhat difficult to get into, and so you must have a consistent setup for it. My setup is that I make a cup of tea, I put on the same playlist, always the same playlist, on my computer. I sit with the journal in front of me and I begin to think about the topic of thoughts I've had recently. As you go about your normal life, you'll find yourself thinking about the same thing for a while. That's your mind giving you the message that it wants you to dive deeper into that topic. But with our modern life of being so busy, we often just think about that very important topic whilst we do our work, whilst you're watching this YouTube video, whilst you're scrolling on your phone, on social media. And so those deep topics that require 100% of your attention never get the time needed And so they just stay in your mind, and you're probably experiencing this right now. You've probably had the same couple of thoughts about some specific topics in your life. That's not exactly normal, and it's certainly not ideal. So I set it all up, and I begin to start asking the simple question, why am I thinking about that? That's the very easiest question you can ask, but sometimes you know enough about the topic of thought that you can just go a bit deeper. Let me give you one of mine. I started dating a girl, and I wanted to dive deeper into that because I was thinking about a lot of different things. It's like the first time I'm dating a girl in almost a year. I wanted to dive into parts of me, not specifically about the girl, but about me and my idea of relationships, my idea of love. And I was thinking about these things whilst I was in the gym and whilst I was recording YouTube videos, whilst I was speaking to my clients. It was like my brain was telling me that it wants to think about this. So eventually, when I finally did sit down to do the deep journaling session for that, I wrote and wrote 4, 5, 6 pages. And eventually you will experience this too. You write the last sentence, you write the last full stop, the last period, and it's done. It's like the thought has been saved. The analogy is that it saves the thought into the hard drive. Up until you do the deep journaling session, it's like that thought is just currently in your RAM, your random access memory on a computer. It's like the part of the computer that's just currently operating, just running things, just constantly. Eventually, when you do the deep journaling, it saves to the hard drive. It's there. It is saved to the long-term memory, but it no longer needs to be processed right now. Another analogy is of the earphones. This is what your thoughts are like throughout the day, because we don't really spend time on our thoughts. When you deep journal, it's kind of like we're just unraveling it, and it just gets easier and easier. And you know what? It kind of is like that. It usually is like this. You unravel it, and there's still like a little hitch here and there. It's not going to be perfect, but compare that to this. This is how we keep our thoughts on a daily basis, and it's no wonder why we just feel so mentally fatigued these days. Deep journaling will certainly ease anxiety. If you've got anxiety, I highly urge you, dive deep into the thing that's gave you anxiety. You probably know what it is, the exact event, the person. Dive into it, write about every detail, bring it all up, because it's always in your mind. And then ask yourself, why do you have anxiety? Why do you have a sense of worry when you get into somewhat of similar situations as that original event? So you'll begin to deep journal, and here is an important tip. Don't write for the reader, write for the writer. Journaling is not for the future version of yourself to look back on. It's not for in cases someone reads it or anything to do with someone reading it. Journaling is more for spilling your brain's thoughts onto the paper. Just what you think is what you write. You don't think, oh wait, how would I want to read this later? You just, whatever the words are that you think, you write them down. The reason for this is that we write volume, we write multiple pages, and it's so important to do this because our brain keeps telling us the same thoughts because we haven't actually acknowledged those thoughts fully. Once you write them down, your brain it feels relieved. It can put its shoulders down because it understands, okay, we've got something saved here now that, you know, if we need to think about this thing, it's here. So don't make it concise. Deep journaling should take longer. Deep journaling should really, really hurt your fingers with how much you're journaling. It should feel like an exam where you're writing and you know you're in a good position with deep journaling when you want to write even faster and faster and faster because there's so much is coming into your mind now that you're getting deep. As you express all the thoughts that come into your mind, constantly question them. Simple questions. Why am I thinking like that? What should I do about this? What does that mean? What would happen if? I urge you to get into journaling. Very, very often I will speak to someone who's part of the tribe. They say that they're part of the cult, that they watch all my videos, and I know that they would benefit from it heavily. And when I ask them, they say, oh, like, I've never even tried it. It baffles me that people just don't try it. And finally, even with gratitude journaling or deep journaling or any other style of journaling that you find, just know that it's a skill. When you first start off, you're going to be a low level in this skill. And so the level of deepness, of introspectiveness that you can get won't be so great. But as you keep journaling, as you keep practicing that habit of diving deep into your brain, you'll get deeper and deeper and deeper. Just think to yourself, there's got to be a reason why this guy that you've been potentially watching so much on YouTube, there's got to be a reason why he keeps recommending it. I'm not selling a journaling course or anything. Journaling is free for you to do. I would only be recommending it if I thought it would change your life, if you're the type of guy that I'm thinking you are. And it would. If you want to see more videos from a unconventional small YouTuber, I suggest you scroll down, click on the subscribe button and the post notification button. You'll get a message for my next videos that get uploaded, and they're all for free. I help people on a one-to-one basis for free, and also I've got like a paid coaching as well, so you can apply for the free program or you can pay for it. The self-improvement coaching link is in the description if you want my one-to-one help. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.